William Shakespeare was a poet and a playwright. He was born in Stratford-upon-Avon on April the 23rd, 1564. This seems to be a mythical birth date because it coincides with St. George's Day, that is the patron of England. His father, John, was a tanner and a glover. His mother, Mary Arden, was the youngest and favorite daughter of a wealthy peasant. John got involved in politics and soon he became the mayor of Stratford. He tried to obtain a noble family crest, but as he was only a craftsman, he never got one. John Shakespeare fathered 8 kids. William was the third born. He never attended university. He only studied at a grammar school in Stratford. He studied Latin, Italian, and French, as well as law, politics, and foreign literatures. Aged 18, he married Anne Hathaway, 8 years older, of humble origins. They had 2 twins, only one of which survived, and then another son who died at 11, whose name was Hamnet. Nothing is known about the period between 1585 and 1592, his lost years, the so-called lost years in Shakespeare's life, when his first love poems appeared and some of his plays had already been performed by famous acting companies. William himself had joined a company after the death of his son Hamnet. He started a new life in London and joined a company, the Chamberlain's Man. He was very successful and earned a lot of money, which he invested on the Globe Theatre. After Shakespeare moved to London, his career as an actor and as a playwright officially starts. He wrote tragedies, comedies, and histories. Among the histories, we have to remember the plays dedicated to the English kings, from King John Lackland to Henry VIII, Queen Elizabeth's father. Among his tragedies, we should mention Hamlet, Othello, Macbeth, and King Lear. And among his comedies, we should remember The Merry Wives of Windsor, or The Taming of the Shrew, and so on. There are other works, such as Romeo and Juliet, or The Merchant of Venice, or Julius Caesar, which are very difficult to somehow define. We cannot be sure if they are tragedies or comedies. In 1588, Shakespeare wrote and performed his first play, Henry VI. His last play was The Tempest, performed in 1611. During his career, Shakespeare was so successful that the other playwrights, the so-called university wits, strongly criticized him for not having a university degree. In fact, we know for sure that Shakespeare only attended a high grammar school, very qualified, but still only a grammar school, not a university. Shakespeare never officially published his plays. They were first unofficially published in 1616 by some spectators who regularly went to the theater and took notes of the dialogues. They took notes of what happened on the stage, and unofficially published Shakespeare's texts, the texts of his plays. Then, after his death, in 1623, the first folio version of his plays was officially published, and lately the original first folio was found in a private library of a Scottish island. Going back to Shakespeare's life, he moved back to Stratford in 1608, and he stayed there, where he died on April the 23rd, 1616.